Hey everyone, my name is Jake, and welcome to the 11th episode of Good Timin. As always on this podcast, we're going to be talking all about our favorite bands, the Beach Boys. And today we have a bit of a lighter episode in store for you all, but I still think it's going to be a lot of fun because today we're going to be building our very own Best of the Beach Boys compilation. So as I'm sure some of you could tell by the thumbnail, this idea was kind of inspired by the Beatles' Red and Blue albums, which are also compilation albums that attempted to select kind of like the best Beatles tracks from both the early and later years. And sticking with the color theme of those two albums, we're going to call our Beach Boys album the Yellow Album. So similar to how the Beatles albums are structured, we're also going to focus on a specific period for each of these compilations. So for today's episode, we will be covering the period from 1962 through 1965. So pretty much any singles or album tracks that the band released during that time are eligible to be on our album. In terms of the album track list, we're going to be selecting 24 songs, which that's kind of right around the number of tracks that appeared on the Red and the Blue album. So I thought that was a good number. And also, like those albums, we're going to attempt to go in chronological order. And the reason for that is I kind of want to reflect how the Beach Boys sound evolved over the years. I know they kind of did that on the Red and Blue album as well. And then lastly, to determine whether or not a song gets added to the Yellow album, at least 3 of the 4 of us must agree that the song is worthy of inclusion. So I have a feeling there's going to be some songs that a couple of us may have different opinions on, but I feel that's kind of going to be the fun part of doing this. We're going to hear how our feelings vary from song to song, and I think we're going to have a good time discussing some of these tracks. So joining me for today's episode, we have the usual Fab Four of myself, Reilly, Justin, and Matt. So as always, glad to have you guys here, and I'm looking forward to building this album with you guys. So since I've rambled on quite a bit already, I feel that one of you guys should make our first song nomination and kick things off. So do any of you want to go first and nominate the opening track on the Yellow album? All right, go ahead, Reilly.
All right. So I just want to throw this one out there. I at first I was thinking Surfin' because I know the Red and Blue album Red album in particular started with Love Me Do, which I'm not really crazy for, but that was kind of their first like single. So at first I kind of thought Surfin', but I kind of want to get this one out of the way. I think Surfin' Safari should be the representation for the first album. I mean, well, I don't think it's my favorite song on the album. I think it's a good representation of that era, of that kind of like novelty songs, but also still represents like the surf like theme they were going for. So I think Surfin' Safari should open up the album, kind of as the Love Me Do for this album.
I was gonna say I felt the same way you did about O'Reilly about Surfing. It's like it's cool because it was the first one, but it's a little too primitive in my opinion to put as the first song. I was thinking about it. I was like, So I agree. I think Surfing Safari is a great way to kick. Isn't that how Endless Summer kicks off too? I don't have that, so I think it does, right?
Let me check.
I don't have it on.
It's Surfing USA, I think.
Is it Surfing?
No, it's Surfing Safari.
What is Surfing Safari? Okay.
I don't have it on anything, so I don't have it on vinyl or CD, so I wasn't sure. But yeah, no, I think that's cool. I agree. Thumbs up.
Yeah, I feel like kind of what you guys said, like Surfin' is a bit primitive for sure. I think it's one of those songs you appreciate more for its historical value more than anything. Like definitely it is cool to hear like the band's very first single. It's kind of the song that got them going, but I don't think it's the strongest song. And I do think Surfin' Safari is easily the strongest track on that debut album. I think it's a great song. It's got a great melody, and I can see why this was kind of the song that really launched them. So I totally agree with you guys. Do you have any thoughts, Justin?
Yeah, the same thing as you guys. It's kind of like the first song that kind of like was a big hit. It was number 14. Yeah, I think it deserves its spot as the first track on the album.
Yeah, I think the only other one I kind of would have gone for from that first album was Cuckoo Clock. But I mean, on a best of, like looking at my copies of the Red album, it's like Cuckoo Clock. If we're kind of like trying to keep this in the same scale, I love Cuckoo Clock, but I don't think it's like best of this era like material, or at least it doesn't really represent that era very well. I feel like there's Surfing Safari as a whole just way better representation of that first album.
Yeah, I mean Cuckoo Clock's fine, but like honestly, if you're comparing it with some of the best on Please Please Me, it kind of falls a little short in my opinion. Now
no, you're absolutely right. I love Please Please Me.
Yeah, Please
nothing on there
other than a taste of honey, right? That's all right.
I mean, there's a couple of songs on Please Please Me like I don't care for that. I think I like Cuckoo Clock more than, but like for like comparing like I Saw Her Standing There, the title track, like nothing on there.
You want a secret? That's a good one.
Yes. One song that I think some people would like kind of argue could make the compilation from that album is 409, but that's not a song that I'm particularly crazy about, to be honest. I mean, I do think it's one of the stronger songs on that album, but it's not one that I'm particularly fond of. So I do not have it on my list coming up here. But
No, I
It's
love.
fine, but it's not gonna. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm not crazy about it that much either. But I kind of put it on here just because I thought it was a good representation. I wasn't only looking at this as like, what do I want on here? Because then the list would be really weird if it was just like what I really like. I looked at it also too from a perspective of like what represents the early Beach Boys songs. And 409, believe it or not, was apparently originally the A side before. That's what I read. And apparently, like then like somebody in like Michigan or whatever decided to play the flip side, and that became
wrong.
I think 409.
Yeah.
Presentation of an early Car song. Is it my favorite song on there? No, but I put it on my list personally. But like another one too that's coming up, and it'll probably come up when we get there. There's another one I put on there I'm not crazy about that much either, but I kind of put it more as like, well, it was a hit. That's the way I was looking at it. But
I mean, she's real fine, but I wouldn't put it on my list. So 409's not with me. I think Justin's the only one who actually understood my joke there. Jerks.
who wants to go next here?
Okay.
Matt?
Okay,
Right,
I'm
go ahead.
skipping 409 because it's not going to get enough votes. I can already tell. Surfing USA, I think, is next because I think that's probably one of their best early songs. It's one of the best on that album. It did steal the Chuck Berry medley, yes, but it used it well. I think it's it's so much energy. It's just, it's catchy. You got a great chorus. You got the location calling, like Redondo Beach, LA, everybody's going surfing. I think it's just a great song. It should be on there. And it's fitting coming right after Surfing Safari. So my vote's for Surfing USA. What does this mean?
I don't know. I mean, let's hear what Jake has to say because maybe he'll sway me over.
Yeah, so I like this one. I wouldn't say it's like one of my very favorites of like their early hits, but like you can't deny like how like fun and catchy it is. It's got obviously, yes, like you said, it borrows like the Chuck Berry melody, but still a really fun song. I do like how it names different locations. To me, it's like one of those songs that like it almost like defines the Beach Boys for a lot of people. Like a lot of people think of like that early sound that they have, and they think Surfin' USA, which is why like it's one of those songs that gets like such a huge reaction when they play it in concert. I feel like leaving it off of this compilation would be a crime. So even though I wouldn't say it's like my very favorite of their early hits, I do think it has to make the compilation. So Surfing USA, I agree, would be my track 2 on the album.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's my favorite of the early hits either. I mean, my favorite early hit is probably like, we'll define early, but we'll get there.
Okay, Justin or Reilly, any thoughts?
Tell me one of your thoughts.
I love Surfing USA, and I'll say my defense for that is Chuck Berry stole Chuck Berry's melodies all the time, anyways. So I don't think it's like really a crime to do that basic rhythm and blues chord progression. I guess more in the rhythm of the words and how they say it that I guess really steals. But I don't know. I think there's some better choices for straight surf material. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Surfing USA album. I like surf rock, and I just think that Farmer's Daughter is probably a better representation of that more straightforward surf album compared to the mouthy tracks that were on the prior one.
I guess that's fair. I mean, I like Farmer's Daughter, but I was thinking it less from a let's not pick esoteric stuff. That's just how I approach it. You do you. Because to me, that's very out there. That's like a song that not that many people know. I know like Fleetwood Mac covered it, but it's like if you told somebody about Farmer's Daughter, they're going to think you're talking about like the Loretta, like either that TV show from the 60s or the Loretta Young movie. Like nobody, like that's not a very well-known song. Great song. I'm just saying it's not super well-known. That's just the way I was looking at it.
Well, I didn't think you guys would pick Stoked like I would. So
No, I would not.
I love Stoked.
That's too esoteric.
Yeah,
Okay.
fair. But my vote's for Farmer's Daughter, but
Okay.
there's also other songs from that album that I would pick, but I think we're also going to mention the other one.
Okay. Well, I'd say I'm thumbs up, obviously, for Surfing USA. So you want to do the votes? One.
Thumbs up.
Okay.
All right.
We have to put it on. It was number 3. We have to put it on.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like you kind of have to keep like a balance where like it's okay to have some deeper cuts. Like I definitely do have some coming up, but I do think like in terms of like we're picking only 24 songs here, and I just feel like Farmer's Daughter for me personally is not near that top 24. But
I saved my deeper cuts for like today and
Yeah.
what's that?
Yeah.
Other days? Like I saved it for the later stuff because like the early deep cuts are fine, but like doesn't hold up to like some of the best stuff on today.
That's fair. I mean, I had this all planned out. I even like timed it out, but yeah, I mean, if we are gonna have to have some deep cuts, I'd rather have the deep cuts from my favorite album by the Beach Boys today than my like 15th favorite Beach Boys album, which is Surfing USA. So That's a very fair statement. All
All
right.
right. Justin, your turn.
So my next one was Shutdown. Obviously, this is one of their first car songs that they had. It reached number 23. It's been on all the compilations over the years. It's just kind of like a song they're really well known for. And yeah, that's pretty much it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's better than 409. It's more well, he's gonna he's gonna be up there. But I think it's pretty solid. I think it's better than 409. It's more fleshed out. It has Mike showing off his wonderful sax skills, which is always
Sax, yeah.
because he didn't get
Two
to
notes.
do his brr, 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 brr. I mean, he probably plays more notes than I could, honestly. But yeah, I mean, I like it. It's probably not my favorite car song. My favorite car song is probably "Don't Worry, Baby," if that counts, because I don't think anything's topped that for them as far as car songs go. But I think it's pretty solid. I think it deserves to be on the list.
What do you
Right.
think, Jake?
But
Reilly?
Come on, we already have Surfing USA on there. I don't think we need Shutdown. Personally, if we're gonna pick another one from Surfing USA, I think we should do Lonely Sea. I think we have to start coming down from that fast-paced energy of the first two and kind of, you know what I mean? And plus, Lonely Sea is one of their better ballads. It's actually grown on me when I already liked that song. And just in the past year, it's actually grown on me more. Maybe it's like doing all that Gary Usher research for the Collaborators episode, but I personally love it. It's one of the best uses of spoken word too. So I think we should.
I'm all for Lonely Sea. If you guys are for Lonely Sea, I'll do Lonely Sea.
So I hate to say it, Justin. If I have to say for Shutdown, I would say thumbs down on that.
Sure,
I
yeah.
think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. Like I don't hate it. Like it's not a song that ever done too much for me. I think it's like an okay, like decent rocker. I think based on again the fact that we're picking 24 songs, I think that there are stronger songs that it would take a place from, in my opinion. So I have to say thumbs down on that one. But I understand why you like. I get it. So is that like a 2 and 2 there? Up 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down. So then that one would not make it, I believe.
okay.
All right. So far we've got Surfin' Safari, Surfin' USA to kick off the album. All right, so I guess I'm next. So I'm gonna mention the song that you just mentioned, Reilly, "Lonely Sea." I do think this is one of their like strongest early ballads. Like it's one of the first really like impressive ballads that Brian ever wrote. Like you said, I used to not be too fond of the spoken word part, but it's grown on me. Like it's very like I think the way he says it kind of works. But I think it's a really pretty song, and it kind of feels a little bit out of place on Surfin' USA, just because it's a lot of like surf rock instrumentals, and obviously like Surfin' USA, so it's kind of out there compared to the rest of that album. But I think it's a really strong track. I think it really shows Brian evolving as a songwriter, and I would vote it onto the album because I think it's kind of one of those kind of like deeper cut ballads that I think more people deserve to hear. So that would be my vote. What do you guys think?
I mean, I love the song. I just, like I said, I think this is just a difference in approach. I try to approach it more from like, let's sell 1 million copies. Maybe I'm like thinking too much of that, and you guys are looking more the mix, which is fine. It's
Your mic.
I mean, I guess I'm, but also like, you know, I think the Beach Boys deserve to have a diamond certified album, don't you? I think they never did. I think they deserve to have one. So.
But I would also say though, like building this album, that I feel more people should hear some of these songs that like, because again, like I said, I don't really want to build like Endless Summer 2.0, you know, like I kind of want to get like our own kind of opinions in there as well, like songs that maybe really stand out to us. So like it's an album that's kind of oriented to the casual fans, but then also like some of the more like hardcore fans that like would pick this up and look at it and be like, oh, like there's some great like deeper cuts on here. I want to get this as well. So that's why I said Lonely Sea.
No, that's fair. No, I agree. I'll tell you one thing, it's going to be a freaking bloodbath when we do the next one, because God,
It's gonna be hard.
down to 20.
Okay, so do at least 3 of the 4 of us agree on Lonely Sea being on here? All right, so Lonely Sea makes the album. So far, we've got Surfin' Safari, Surfin' USA, and Lonely Sea. So I think who are we on to? Reilly now?
Yeah, back to me, I think.
All right.
I kind of want to move on from this album to one of my favorite Beach Boys albums, which is Surfer Girl. This kind of messes with the track listing because I have a lot of the ballads from Surfer Girl on my list. But if I had to pick one of them to at least like go with for now, I want to go with the title track, which is one of my favorite Beach Boys songs. I think In My Room's better, but I feel like this will fit the album more, kind of like what Matt wants. Um, I mean, I also have a couple more chances, I'm sure, to mention the other ballads, but I'm gonna go with the title track, Surfer Girl.
Yeah. I mean, everything you said's a great song. I don't really have much to add. I think it's wonderful. It's on my list too. Supposedly it is kind of similar to, I know this is similar to the Dion version of When You Wish Upon a Star, right? I never heard that version. The version I grew up listening to was the old Disneyland tape that I used to have, where they played it at the end with all the cartoon, all the characters in the park. That's the version of When You Wish Upon a Star I grew up with. But
yeah, I love Surfer Girl. It's one of my favorite of their early hits. One of my favorite early Brian Wilson ballads. I think it's a great song. One of those songs that, like, even before I really got into the Beach Boys, I knew it and I really loved it. So definitely no question for me that Surfer Girl should be on this album. What about you, Justin?
Same here. It's one of my favorite early songs. The only issue I have is it's coming right off of another ballad. So maybe we should put something else before that from that same album. Like I have a few tracks here that I've listed. I actually have a lot of tracks I've listed, but probably the most obvious choice would be Little Deuce Coupe. Put that before that.
I was gonna say Catch a Wave.
Or Catch a Wave, either one.
I like Catch a Wave better, but that's just me.
I have both written down.
I say Hawaii. Why don't we do Hawaii?
Hawaii's fine, but again, a little too on the, I know you don't like it, Jake, a little too on the esoteric side for what I'm trying to put together. But because Catch a Wave I know is a deep cut too, but it's at least was on Endless Summer. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But let's vote on Surfer Girl, right? Thumbs up for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, it's on there. Good. We can always rearrange the track listing later. We don't have to.
Yeah. Who's next, Reilly? Or Justin?
Me. I'll go next.
Matt? Okay.
Catch a Wave. I nominate Catch a Wave. I think it's more up tempo. We're speeding up a little bit. I love the harp. I love the harmonies. I like the lyrics. I just think it's a wonderful song. I think it's great. I really like it. So I nominate Catch a Wave.
I mean, I was thumbs down on it, but it doesn't matter because you guys all voted for it. I personally, I know you mentioned Little Deuce Coupe, and this song, I do prefer Little Deuce Coupe by quite a bit. I have it written down, but I don't have Catch a Wave, but you guys voted all for Catch a Wave, so it will go on. I think it's an okay song. It's never been one of my favorite of the early hits, to be honest. I think it's another one of those songs that I prefer it live. I think it sounds better live, but the studio version, it's all right. It's fine. It's just not one I choose to put on too often, but it's nice. It's all right.
Little Deuce Coupe is 1.5 minutes. Catch a Wave is at least 2.5 minutes. I think we got to give the buyers more time.
Catch a Wave is 2:07. I wrote it down.
Yeah. You trying to like scam them? Justin?
Yeah. Either one. Little Deuce Coupe or Catch a Wave, either one I'm cool with.
Well, it was
both great songs.
It was 3-1 for Catch a Wave, so it's on. I think it's your turn, Just, to nominate something.
That's what I was trying to say, yeah.
For the next track? Okay, so we're not doing Little Deuce Coupe, so the next one I would say would be True to Your School, the album version, not the single version. What do you guys think?
I put it on my list, but I'll be honest with you, I've never cared for that song very much. I put it more on there just because I know it was a hit.
It's more because it's like a hit.
Because I personally never cared for that song very much. I think it's all right. It's a little too, I don't know, high schooly kind of. I don't know. I just never been a huge fan of it. It's all right. I mean, like I said, it was a hit. It's got that going for it.
Yeah.
I would vote yes. I was actually listening to it earlier. I really love that song, but I got to admit that be true to your school, yeah. Just like you would to your girl or guy. I hate that line. Like, that line does not fit the song, period. I think it's just Mike Love being Mike Love. But besides that, it would get my vote. But there's some other songs off the Little Deuce Coupe album. I know Be True to Your School's on there that I'd just rather pick to represent that album. But
yeah, that song I totally agree with you, Matt. I've never cared for either version, the album or the single version. I do prefer the album version because, as I mentioned, I don't like the Honey's vocals on the single version, like the I don't like it at all.
Has to be the album version. Yeah.
What I like on the single version is the do 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 do, like that part with the orchestra. I like that part. Mesh the two together, you probably have a good mix.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of agree with what you said too, Reilly. Like, I don't really like that line you mentioned either. Like, I don't know, the whole song, it just feels like, I don't know, it just feels a little almost like too high schooly, corny to me. I don't know. Again, this is a band that's like known for corny lyrics. There's plenty of cheesy songs that I like by them, but this one I've never been a huge fan of. I've mentioned it before. I prefer it live. Another one of their early hits I prefer live, but even live, I wouldn't say it's a favorite of mine. So I would have to say no on this one. So I think that one's at 2-2.
Like 2.5 to 1.5. I like the melody though. The melody on that song is fantastic. Matt. Not Matt. Jake.
All right. So my next song. So again, just to recap so far: Surfing Safari, Surfing USA, Lonely Sea, and Catch a Wave, I believe, is our track list so far.
And Surfer Girl.
Surfer Girl.
Yeah, Surfer Girl.
Yeah.
I'm going to add another one of what I think is one of the best early Brian Wilson ballads on Surfer Girl and just in general, In My Room. I think this is one of Brian's most beautiful songs. It's got a gorgeous melody, gorgeous lyrics, great production. I really love like the bridge section on this song. I think it's really pretty. I just love the whole song in general. It's just a beautiful song. And it really shows like him evolving as a songwriter in terms of like going into deeper themes with the lyrics. I know that this was like a co-write. Who was it he collaborated with on this one? Harry Usher. Yeah. I love this song. I think it's really like emotionally moving. So that's my vote.
Yep. I also want to give a shout out to the opening. I love the opening where it's like Brian and then it's Carl and then it's Dennis. I think that was a really nice touch. 3 brothers sharing the one room. But yeah, big thumbs up from me. No arguments here.
Same here. Thumbs up for me.
All right. Who's next?
That's the end of side 1, right?
That would be side 1.
Tracks. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're on to side 2.
We're doing like a double. We're doing like a double, right?
We're doing a double. Yeah, double.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like.
Okay. That'd be a good closer for side 1.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Is it Matt next?
No, it's Reilly.
Oh, Reilly. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna start off. I think this is one of the deeper cuts. I don't think anybody's gonna vote for this. Car Crazy Cutie from Little Deuce Coupe.
Oh, I love that.
I think it's also like would also be an awesome opener. It's a deep cut, but you also have the run, to do a run, whoa, run. I think it would be an awesome.
I love that song. Thumbs up for me. I love that song. I think
it's on my list, so thumbs up.
Yeah.
Let's start for side 2.
That's the best.
That, Jake.
In my opinion.
Yeah, that as you guys probably could expect, that's a thumbs down for me. But obviously, you guys will like it. I will say, of the songs on there, besides like the ones that I do really like Balladable Betsy, Little Deuce Coupe, that is one of the more memorable album tracks for me. Like it does have a good melody. I won't deny that. It just doesn't do too much for me as a song, but. You guys all voted for it, so it goes on the album. So Little Deuce Coupe is represented on the album, so on the yellow album.
All right, my turn. I'm not going to pick anything else from Little Deuce Coupe just because like the rest of it's kind of whatever. Honorable mention, I'm not going to put it out there, but I know around this time Little Saint Nick was put out. I do like that song. I just don't really think I don't want to stick a random Christmas song on this, so I'm not putting it out there. If somebody else wants to be my guest, I'm going to go for Louie Louie. No, I'm just kidding. Fun. Fun. Classic single. Again, another Chuck Berry riff, but who cares? It's great. I'll be honest. Not be honest. I just think it's really funny. I don't know if you guys have seen Summer Dreams, where they come up with that scene where it's like Dennis is like going with some girl, and they're like, they'll have fun till her daddy takes the T-Bird away, and they go back in the studio and write the song. I just think that's the cheesiest, funniest thing ever. But I think it's a classic song. I think it's a great song, so I'm putting out fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to have it on there.
Thumbs up for me. Yeah.
All right, it's on there.
All right.
Justin, your turn.
Justin.
Okay, so we've got 2 fast songs, so now we need a ballad. I'd probably say from around that era would be Hushabye.
Yeah.
We're jumping ahead a little bit, but I think having a ballad after the 2 tracks, it's one of my favorite tracks from All Summer Long. It's a cover, but it's done in a fashion where it's very Beach Boys-esque, and it represents their style very well.
I think it's the first cover for me that probably is better than the original, or one of their first that was better than the original, because all their other covers for me were either like on par or like far inferior if we're talking about Louie Louie. God, I hate that song. That cover. I really don't like it. Why it was on the Best of the Beach Boys, I will never understand.
I agree with having Hushabye. I think we should probably do Don't Worry Baby, though. I feel like if we're going to go in order.
Well, we can just vote on Hushabye and then we can rearrange it later. It doesn't have to necessarily be in this order. But yeah, I'm a thumbs up on Hushabye. I really like Hushabye.
You do Hushabye.
I'm
Nobody-
a thumbs up on that. That's yeah.
Matt? Not Matt. Jake. Why am I?
All right. Well, okay. So we did miss a song that I want to mention. I want to see if I can get it on here. Get your guys' vote on this one. I know at least one of you does really like this one. I really love from Surfer Girl Your Summer Dream. I think it's one of their prettiest deep cuts from like the early years. I think it's a beautiful song. It almost has like almost kind of like a dream poppy vibe because it's like very like mellow. It's just got like some strummed guitar and just like Brian's solo vocal. I think it's just really pretty and haunting. I love the lyrics and I just think it's a really pretty song. It's one of those songs where like if you just have your headphones on and you're laying down at night, it just sounds like really, really just beautiful. So I would vote that song on. I don't know if I'll get your guys' vote on that, but that's a thumbs up from me.
Okay, I'm doing this only because I love that song, but I think we already have enough ballads and we only have so much space, but I love it. I just wouldn't put on it just for more lack of space. Well, wouldn't put on it, but I'm like but I love the song. I do love the song. So I'm like this, kind of like, if that makes sense. But I think the other three of you voted yes, so it's on there.
Justin, did you vote yes?
Yeah. I think that we might have to cut some songs later, but for now, I'm gonna say yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we might be able to cut a couple and then maybe like rearrange some
We'll have
after
to-
at the end.
Yeah, we'll have to pare it down. If you only have 24 tracks, like this is very limiting.
It
The
is.
amount of
I love the
Great
song.
songs.
Yeah, I love the song. It's just like I would rather save my deep cuts for like later on. That's just the way I look at it. But as far as like you want me to rate the song as a 10 out of 10 song, I love the song.
It was on my list. It was on my spreadsheet.
It was on mine too. Yeah.
So, I think we could probably add it on, and if there's at the very end, if we want to scratch and move around some of the couple, then yeah, by all means, definitely add it to the list though. That's definitely
To nominate something, Reilly.
What?
Your chance to nominate something.
Oh yeah. I want to say "Don't Worry, Baby." Like we kind of talked about the ballads, but I think of all the ballads, I think that's definitely one we have to have on the album. I feel like we're gonna get 4 votes with that one. Yeah.
Thumbs up for me.
No objections there. One of the best in the catalog. Okay, I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit because I do have some more, but I don't want so many ballads. I get around. I don't think it needs to be said.
Yeah, that was gonna be my vote. I wanted to say that one.
I'm just gonna say I get around. No, as I wanted to say "Warmth of the Sun" because I had that on there too. I was trying to keep this like because that's around the same era as "Don't Worry, Baby." It's on the same album, but that's like another ballad. So I'm like, here, let's just jump ahead. I get around. It's a classic. It was their first number one. Nothing else needs to be said. I know it's your favorite. Nothing
Of
else.
all time.
It's a great song.
Any
It's a
band.
wonderful song. Everything's great about it. Thumbs up from me.
Fuck yeah.
Thumbs up.
Easily.
It's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is hard because so many of the ones I like are ballads, and we've already had so many ballads.
Me too.
I have to say it though, "Girls on the Beach."
That's on my list.
The harmonies in it. This is like one of the first times their harmonies are very like sophisticated for the time,
Key change.
and just the chord changes and everything. It's such a great song.
Dennis's part two. I love Dennis. Anytime Dennis sang, I just love his earthy
The
voice.
middle eight.
Yep. Big thumbs up for me. I love that song.
Thumbs up from me as well. I think I'm surprised that that got votes from multiple of you guys because I kind of thought like that was one where I was going to have to kind of argue its place on the album, but I think it's beautiful. Like you said, Justin, I love the chord changes. I love like the vocal harmonies, the way Brian arranged them. I know this song does have some melodic similarities to Surfer Girl. I almost feel like in terms of like how the complexity, it's almost like a bit of an upgrade, like because like there's more going on. I do really love that bridge section with Dennis that you mentioned, Matt, like the sun in her hair. Like it's like Dennis sings that so well. And yeah, the harmonies are just gorgeous on this song. So it definitely gets a thumbs up from me. I know, Reilly, you were giving it what's your thoughts on this one?
Of the early ballads, it's one of my lesser favorites. I still think it's a fantastic song. I still love it. It's one of my highlights from the album, but if we're going to have all the ballads, it's one of my lesser favorites of those. So that's the reason why I don't want it. I also have a bunch more songs on that, or a good amount of songs on that album that I would rather have represented here, like Wendy. But
all right, so just to recap, then where our list is. So do we all 3 of the 4 of us voted yes on "Girls on the Beach"?
3
all
out of
right,
4.
so that leaves our list so far. Again, this might be out of order, but so far we've got Surfin' Safari, Surfin' USA, Lonely Sea, Surfer Girl, Catch a Wave, In My Room, Your Summer Dream. I'm going chronologically. Car Crazy Cutie, Fun, Hushabye, Don't Worry Baby, I Get Around. So we're at like 11 or 12, just Girls on the Beach. So we're at 12.
So that's the first album, the first LP.
Yeah.
Now we're going to the second one.
All right, Jake, your turn to nominate something.
12 more tracks.
Yeah. All right. So I know we've already talked about some tracks on All Summer Long, but I do want to go back to Shutdown because there's yet another ballad that I feel like just can't be left out, and it's The Warmth of the Sun. This is a really beautiful song. I love the harmonies on it. I love the falsetto from Brian on this one. This is one of my favorite vocals by Brian from like the early years, honestly, from like the pre-Pet Sounds era. It's just really haunting. Obviously, like this song was written, it depends who you ask, but it was written either before or in the aftermath of the JFK assassination. I know Mike, I think, claims that it was after. What's that?
So does Fred Vale. If you read that Rolling Stone article, Fred Vale, like about the new album, Fred Vale said he saw them write it in a hotel room after Kenny was assassinated.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it's a beautiful song. It's, again, Shutdown. I've talked about Shutdown Volume 2 before. It's one of those albums that I think is just like loaded with filler, so it's hard for me to rank it high. But in terms of the standouts, I mean, Don't Worry Baby and The Warmth of the Sun are both just like beautiful songs. So I would have to vote Warmth of the Sun onto the album. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's great. Good
right.
song.
Yep. Yeah. One of the ballads. I would have this over Girls on the Beach, honestly. Like, no question.
Why not both?
Yeah, why
too
not
many
both?
ballads. Way too many ballads.
We like the ballads. We
do. We love the ballads. But I have a spreadsheet for this. More than half of disc 2 is just all the ballads from today. Like,
well, don't worry. We'll nominate something.
Are we just doing a best of ballads list now?
We should just do the best
Beach Boys ballads. Yeah.
The Beach Boys ballads.
Instead of Rock and Roll by the Beatles, you have Beach Boys ballads.
We should do that. Rock and Roll by the Beatles. Boys, all like the up-tempo stuff. But anyway.
You know what, Reilly? Just be happy you got Car Crazy Cutie on here because I'm just... But whatever.
You're not going to like the next one if I'm confident enough.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, what is it?
Wendy. I love Wendy.
That's that already.
What?
It's all right, but I wouldn't put it on there. I don't like it that much.
What? How?
Fine. It's just like,
But you got the bass and the drum. Dun, dun.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it. Put it on there. That's just me. I wouldn't. If you're telling me like we only have 24 tracks,
We need a majority vote, and there's 4 of us.
Well, I'm voting thumbs down.
I know Jake doesn't like this song.
I
was anticipating you guys would help me out.
Fine. What if I do this? Then it's 2 ups, and then it's on.
It was on my list, so I like it.
Yes, thank you.
No, it's fine. I don't hate it. I just
It's like a 9 out of 10 song for me. I love that song.
It's fine. I don't know if I would put it on a compilation. All right. No.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
You can't do that to me.
I hate it, but like, I already gave you Car Crazy. No, thumbs down.
All right, I'll give you that. But if I were to have one over the other, I'm having Wendy over Car Crazy Cutie.
Fine. I'll vote it on and we'll decide later. How about that?
Okay, if we can take off Car Crazy Cutie, I'll vote Wendy on. But otherwise, no. I vote no. It's one of those. It's one of those songs. I think Matt, I have the same opinion as you on it. Like, it's fine. It's an enjoyable song. I do like that middle section, like with the organ. That's like my favorite part of the song. Very cool. Does sound like very like ahead of its time, I feel like. But yeah, this one, I don't know. It's just never been a favorite of mine. It's one that took a while to grow on me, and it's still not one of my favorites on the All Summer Long album. So it gets a no from me. But again, if we're willing to drop Car Crazy Cutie, I will vote it on.
I might bargain for that.
Okay, should I just write it down then?
Just write it down. See what happens.
So I'll vote thumbs up for now, and then we'll debate it later.
Can we do 26 tracks?
We could.
I mean, that's how much the Red and Blue album had, like 25, I think. No, it was 7. It was 7 plus 7 plus 6 plus 6. So what is that? 14 plus 12. It was 26. I just looked it up. Anyway, I'm nominating When I Grow Up to Be a Man because I really like that song. I think it's very haunting, especially like with the countdown and everything. It's kind of it kind of was like a step forward for them because it's very introspective and it was like a big hit. And it was like the first it was the first single today. So I vote for When I Grow Up. That's my nomination. When I Grow Up to Be a Man.
I don't know. I'm kind of mixed because we do need those higher tempo tracks to balance it out, and I do love that one part at the end where it's like "Won't last forever." I love that. So yeah, I'm kind of in between. I could be swayed, definitely.
All right, well, thumbs up for me. What do you think, Jake? When I Grow Up to Be a Man.
It made my list. It's a thumbs up for me. I do really like this song a lot. For me, my favorite part is the part that you guys mentioned. That ending is so good. Like the "Won't Last Forever." It's like so like melancholic. You know, I think you've mentioned, Matt, like this song kind of like reflects like kind of like the stress of like growing up and not knowing like where you are, if you're where you should be. You know, it's just a very it's a cool song. I wouldn't say like I definitely prefer the ballads on Today over this song for sure. Again, we're gonna get to more ballads, I know, but in terms of the more like upbeat, poppier songs on Today, I would say When I Grew Up to Be a Man is the strongest in my opinion. So that I vote that song onto the album.
Okay, what about you, Justin? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
I would. I don't know. It's tough because there's a couple other up-tempo songs from Today that I enjoy, but I enjoy the song as well too. So I'll say thumbs up for now.
Okay, we're 3, so
Yeah.
it's on. So
It's on.
We're 3,
Yeah.
so we'll debate it. All right, Justin, your turn to nominate something.
Okay, so we're on the Today album. So let's choose another up-tempo song. So I went with "Do You Want to Dance" with Dennis's vocal. It was one of Dennis's first lead vocals, other than "This Car of Mine." But this was kind of one of his the first ones that went on a 45, and it ended up getting to number 12. So it was pretty successful, and yeah.
Arguably the best version.
Much else than that? Yeah.
Thumbs up for
What do
me.
you guys think?
I love that. So it was a great opener too.
I like it. It's not my favorite up-tempo song. That middle portion where it's like all instrumental is fantastic. I think it changes keys too, right?
Right.
Fantastic part. I think it's my favorite part of the song. Definitely way like miles, leagues better than the original. But if you were to ask me to pick an up-tempo song besides When I Grow Up, I'm going with Good to My Baby from side one.
I have that as well too. Like I have so many tracks, but
I say yes to do. I say yes. So it's 2. What do you guys vote? Yeah, thumbs up in the middle. What is it?
This is one of the toughest ones for me because like I totally get like why this song is considered like really great. It's like the production on it that really makes it so like awesome. Like it's like so well produced. Brian's kind of got like that similar like wall of sound kind of production going. This one I will say for a long time I didn't care for it, but it has grown on me quite a bit. I do think it's a good opener to the album. So I mean, even though I'm kind of iffy on it, I actually didn't have it on my list. I had a different upbeat song from Today, but I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. So
those 3.
Yeah. I'm indifferent. I don't really care. I enjoy it. Really great song.
All right, Jake, your turn to nominate something.
All right. Well, okay. So I had a different upbeat one from Today, but I'm gonna skip it because I don't want us to have too many tracks here. My song I wrote was Dance Dance Dance, but I'm gonna skip it. I'm gonna go
I
with
that as well.
Oh, you did? Well, I mean,
Yeah,
did any of you guys say yes on that one or no?
I didn't have it on my list. I wouldn't put it on there.
All right.
It's
Okay.
like,
It's a great song.
Yeah. All right. So we're going into more ballads from Today from side 2, and I'm gonna go with what I think is one of the best Beach Boys ballads. Period. Please Let Me Wonder. I think this is just a gorgeous song. This song. It's kind of special to me because it's one of like the first kind of like deeper cuts. I know it's not like a super deep cut, but it's one of those songs that not too many people I feel like are familiar with that aren't like big fans of the Beach Boys. But I just think the song is gorgeous. I love the harmonies. I love the chord progression. And Brian's vocal on this is just like beautiful. It's one of my favorite Brian vocals for sure. I do like that nice little part at the end, like the "I love you." It's kind of cheesy, but it's nice. So this song definitely gets my vote. It's one of my. I think I said it just missed my top 10 list, and it might, if I did that list again today, it might even make it. And it's like right there. So thumbs up for me.
It's my number 3 favorite Beach Boys song.
My sister hates the Beach Boys, and I played this song for one time. She actually liked it, so that's a testament to it.
I'm easily picking this one.
We have to have this song on there. We have to have it on here.
Like if we needed one side 2 ballad from Today, this without a doubt.
Yep, I would agree with that.
Yeah, since we just ended on a ballad, I want to throw this one out there. Help Me Rhonda. I don't care which version. I'll fight for the Today version, but I'm losing that fight. So we'll just go with Help Me Rhonda, period. Like regular Help Me Rhonda.
Yeah.
With the H. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, but Smiley Smile 45 version. That's the version I voted for. I'm not Smiley Smile. I'm sorry, Summer Days. Summer Days. Sorry, I was just thinking about Smiley Smile. Summer Days, not Smiley.
There's a version on YouTube that combines like some of the parts from both of them. I shared it with Jake. I thought it was done pretty good. I like it.
I still got to listen to that. I haven't done.
I wouldn't mind the Today version if it didn't have that weird like fiddling with the freaking control knobs in like the end. Like
yeah.
I
think Al's vocal on the Today's version is better.
I don't really listen. I'll be honest. I haven't listened to Today version in a while, so I have to listen to them again.
He sounds more into it.
The other one to me is more like, I don't know. The other one to me is more like rock. That's what I like about it. It's like, is it like, it's more like, well, but she put you down. It doesn't matter. Yes, I vote yes.
Probably Rhonda.
Yeah.
I vote yes. From Summer Days. Sorry,
I'll lose that battle, but I'll objectively great song, so I'm gonna put it on either way.
And it was number one.
Yeah, yes. And if that one, like, if it came on the radio, or if it like came on like Spotify, even if it was the Summer Days version, I'm not gonna go out of my way to put on the Today version. I love the song, and the bass line is so cool. So,
all right, my turn. So we did a bunch of ballads. So I was gonna nominate that, but so we did California Girls, because we did so many ballads. California Girls, the classic. It's got a great intro. Kind of cheesy lyrics, but I think the music makes up for it. So yeah, California Girls.
Yeah, that's an easy thumbs up for me.
Yeah.
Another one of those songs that like really like defines the Beach Boys for a lot of people. It's like one of their most popular concert openers. I think they're still opening with that song to this day. It's just a great song, and like obviously that intro is iconic. Like one of those just like great moments in just like 60s music in general. It's just a gorgeous intro, and this song is great, both the studio version and live. Live, it has a lot of energy, and I love the way it ends too, like the studio version, where like you got like Bruce's vocal in the background, and it's just ending with those like beautiful harmonies. So I love California Girls, so I definitely agree.
Yeah,
they opened with Do It Again when I last saw them.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Matt would have been disgusted with that.
I don't hate the song. I just I've never been a fan of it. I know I'm very much losing that fight because even people on Facebook complained about that one. So,
all right. So it's Justin.
Yeah. So this is tough because there's a bunch of ballads that we missed, but we only have so much space, right? So I'm gonna go with "Let 'Em Run Wild" from "Summer Days and Summer Nights." We have to have this on here.
Thumbs up for me.
The lush production, Brian's vocal, which he doesn't like, but everybody else loves it. Yeah, it has to be on here.
Yep, his basically his attempt at doing Burt Bacharach, basically.
This song, I like really love this song. Like honestly, like whenever I know it's is your favorite Beach Boys song, right? Justin?
Yeah.
Whenever I hear this song, whether it comes on like shuffle on my playlist or like on the XM Beach Boys station, whenever I hear it, I just think like, man, like maybe I should have put this song in my top 10, like when we did this episode, because like I really love it. Like it's just a great. Again, it is kind of like a ballad, kind of like the others, but it does have that more like upbeat like chorus part. I think I've said this before. The part of the song that like really does it for me is that guess I've waited for you, girl. Like I love that part. That really makes the song for me. So I definitely, to me, this actually is my favorite song on Summer Days and Summer Nights. So it definitely gets a thumbs up for me.
I would say it's more mid-tempo than ballad.
Yeah.
Say the song, my favorite part of it is probably "Before He Makes You Over, I'm Gonna Take You Over." I love that lyric.
Good lyric, yeah.
There's another Burt Bacharach reference. Don't make me over.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh really? Okay, yeah.
All right. So is it to me?
It's you, yeah.
All right. So we're going back to some more ballads from today. I feel like I have to, again, we can't get all of the Today ballads on, I feel like, but if I have to pick another that I feel like has to make it just because like of like how beautiful I think this song is and just like lyrically, production, everything, She Knows Me Too Well. This song is just like haunting. It's gorgeous. I've mentioned before, I love like Brian's like wailing falsetto on it, especially at the end where he's like singing the harmony. It's like so beautiful yet haunting at the same time. This one's like really deep lyrically. This one really shows. This is kind of like a precursor to the Pet Sounds material. I really connect with this song. It's one that I listen to a lot, and it's I would say it's it's hard to pick favorites from the side 2 of today, honestly, because like some days I prefer one, other days I prefer the other, but like this one I would say would always be my top 2. So She Knows Me Too Well is my vote.
Yeah, that's in my top 10 Beach Boys song.
Ooh, Matt's giving
why.
no?
First of all, I like another one better from side B. Number 2, I know you're gonna hate me for saying this, but do you guys remember that post on the subreddit that was like, "What's a Beach Boy song that you don't care for the lyrics?" And someone's like, "Oh, this one I don't really like the lyrics because it kind of implies emotional abuse." Kind of reading that take, I'm like, yeah, I kind of see what they're saying. So like, I still like the song a lot. I love the song, but for me, it's like in the middle. But I'm gonna outvote anyway, so it's fine.
Jake, you mentioned that it's hard to pick 2 ballads or 2 of your favorite ballads. Not for me. Please Let Me Wonder and She Knows Me Too Well are both of my top 10 Beach Boys songs. Easy.
Yeah,
production is incredible.
The back of my mind better. That's the one I would have put on there.
That's another one.
Yeah. That's I wrote that on my list, but I don't know if it's gonna get on, but it's on there. I mean that's my top 3. Kiss Me Baby is actually I prefer in the back of my mind She Knows Me Too Well and Please Let Me Wonder over Kiss Me Baby. But yeah.
Because my 2 favorite on side B are Please Let Me Wonder and In the Back of My Mind. Those are my 2.
Yeah.
Like She Knows Me Too Well, but I like In the Back of My Mind better.
She Knows Me Too Well. She put that on the end of side 3. That'd be like the perfect ending for side 3.
But what do you just out of curiosity? We can cut this out if you want to, Jake. But what do you guys feel about that take? That someone's like, "Oh, well, the song implies emotional abuse, so I don't like it." Because that's what somebody on the subreddit said. I kind of get what they were saying. I was just looking. I was like, kind of. They kind of have a point.
Yeah, to me, it's more so like I can see how you could interpret it that way. Thinking about the lyrics in my head, I don't have them right in front of me right now, but to me, it's kind of like a guy at conflict with himself, a guy admitting like his own like weaknesses, you know, and kind of like feeling sorry for how he's treating this girl. I kind of see it. I can see it both ways, but to me, I never hear it as like a song of a guy being abusive or anything. I can see why you feel that way about it, but I don't interpret it that way.
I wouldn't say I feel that way about it, but just that take kind of made me look at it in a different light. Like, I don't think it's as bad as like Run for Your Life by the Beatles. I can't stand that song because of the lyrics. The lyrics are awful. They really are bad. And even Lennon said he regretted writing that song. I can see why, you know?
Well, I think that with that one, it's like, it's weird because like, it's like the lyrics are so like dark. Like, I'd rather see you dead, little girl. But then like the song is so like poppy and like, it's like, that's the end, little girl. Like, it's like, it's just happy.
Hammer. You know, that song is like Joe was quizzical. Maxwell Silverhammer came down upon her head. It's like so uppy. And I know everybody hated that song except for Paul. Everybody hated that song.
I defend that one. I like that one.
I like it too, but everybody hated it but Paul.
I think it's funny how much the other guys hated that one. It's funny to me.
And Obla Obla Da, right? I love that song. A lot of people hate it.
Yeah.
Right. The Little Girl I Once Knew.
Yep. That was on my list, so thumbs up for me.
Production-wise, it's literally a precursor to Pet Sounds. Like,
it is. And it's a very underappreciated song because it kind of underperformed here. And I think that putting it on something like this will elevate it so more people know. I mean, Lennon loved it. I had it on my list, so big thumbs up from me.
Yeah, plus it was a non-album track, so it's pretty easily lost in the Beach Boys canon. It was on Spirit of America, right?
Yeah.
So, like, but besides that, I mean, I don't think many people really cared for it, especially since it didn't sell well. I think if you put it on, like, that kind of compilation, that people would get attention to it. I mean, there's a couple of those on a Red album, I think, like Love Me Do wasn't on any American album, was it?
Love Me Do was a number one, though, from, I think the Tolly label had it, right? Or what was that other label that had some of the Beatles stuff?
Yeah, but not in the U.S.
No,
yeah,
it was.
It was re-released.
Yes, it was. It was released by VJ or Tolly, and they went number one. No, From Me to You was not a big hit in the U.S. when it first came out. That went nowhere.
I think I'm thinking of that one then.
You think of that one, yeah. From Me to You was not a big hit here. It was a big hit in the UK. It was not a big hit here. So when it came on the Red and Blue album, that was a lot of time people heard it for the first time.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. I want that kind of track on here, and so I think that's a good one to pick.
Yeah, I'm iffy on it, but you guys voted thumbs up on it, so it goes on. But it's all right. I don't know. To be honest, I know like one of the things that people speculate was like the issue for why the song didn't do great was because of like the pauses. Because like I know like radio stations at that time didn't really like that. You know, it was kind of weird to have like dead air. I don't know how I feel about the pauses either, to be honest. Like I can appreciate like it's something different, like it's very unique. Like it's kind of like gutsy of Brian to do that in like a pop song, but it is very well produced. I like the arrangement. I do love like the way it starts, like the intro, like that instrumental part. It's iffy for me, so I wouldn't give it a no. So it can go on for sure. We'll include it.
So my last one I'm gonna nominate is "Girl Don't Tell Me." I know it's kind of derivative of "Ticket to Ride," but I think it has a great Carl vocal. I like that it's like one of the few from that era that doesn't have backing vocals, so it kind of stands out a bit. I love the instrumental track. I love the way Dennis drums on it. I love who plays that like organ thing. Is that Bruce or Brian that does that?
The organ. There's
like
like a
board thing.
what is it called? The dulcimer or something in it.
Whoever
Bruce
plays
plays that. Yeah.
I really like it, so thumbs up for me.
I would say thumbs up for me as well too. It's one of my
Thumbs up.
favorites.
Yeah.
Three. You don't like it, Reilly, much?
Oh, I love the song. I'd rather do "You're So Good to Me." If we're gonna include another Summer Days.
Yeah.
upbeat.
I like "You're So Good to Me" too, but I wanted a Carl vocal on here.
Yeah, they're about interchangeable for me.
They're few and far between from this era, so I wanted a Carl vocal.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they're about even on quality. I prefer one over the other, but if you included a "Girl Don't Tell Me" over "You're So Good to Me," I wouldn't really care.
Okay.
Okay, Justin, your last nominee.
All right. So I'm gonna choose "You're So Good to Me." That's what I'm gonna choose. Yeah. So I had that on my list, and like Reilly said, like this is one of the really great songs from the Summer Days album. The guitar sound, I really like the guitar sound through the Leslie speaker. Brian's vocal. Yeah, I think it deserves to be on here.
And the backing vocals inspired the backing vocals on the Beatles' "Girl."
Yeah.
The tit tit tit.
There you
tit.
go.
Thumbs up for me.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm iffy on it, but you guys all voted yes, so it goes on. So yeah, I like the song. Like it's on my Beach Boys playlist. I do enjoy, like I would say I enjoy it, but it's not one I choose to put on too often. I kind of find it a little annoying sometimes, like the la 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 la. I don't know. I think it goes a little long and it repeats it of quite a few times, and I don't know. I like the verses a lot, but the chorus of just like the la 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 la, it's just kind of for me. So, but yeah, it's all right. It's fine. I wouldn't argue it going on.
Do you have one more you want to nominate, Jake?
Yeah, so I know we've hit 25 songs, I believe now, but there is another song that I want to mention that I feel that we should consider for inclusion. I know that we've already talked about how we have a lot of ballads on here. It is very ballad heavy, but I do love a lot of Brian's ballads, and I want to nominate "In the Back of My Mind." I love this song. Again, I feel like it's a good addition because it's another representation of Dennis's vocals. I know that we already put on "Do You Want to Dance," but I really love Dennis's vocal on this one. He sings it in a very heartfelt, genuine way. The arrangement on this one is just like really, really gorgeous. Like I love the Wrecking Crew on it. It just sounds really pretty. And this is one that I connect with lyrically. It's a very moving song. And I love the way, like at the end, where like I think I've seen it described as like the orchestra like collapses at the end, and like you hear each like individual part kind of like falling down onto each other. And I just love the way that the song ends. This is a perfect song for me, and I would vote it on. So
yeah, thumbs up.
Yeah.
I really wanted to mention "All Summer Long." I'm surprised none of us voted for it.
It's on my list, but I didn't mention it.
Well, I'll give it a thumbs up then. It was on my list, so I'll vote for it.
Yeah.
All
right.
Long. It's not ballad, but it's not too fast. I think it is kind of an even paced song that we could have on there. But
yeah, it's if you've ever seen American Graffiti, the song becomes a lot more melancholy.
That's where I was introduced to it.
I think The Simpsons used it too in one of their episodes as a closure, as a homage to American Graffiti.
Yeah, that's right. I watched that when I was like 8 or 9. I think I mentioned it in another episode. That's where I found out about that song. But yeah, all right.
Can we have a hidden track at the end?
And
what do scoop for a minute and a half
under the label like White did?
Yeah, exactly. Summer Means New Love to close it out.
Ooh, yeah. I like that. It's like an instrumental.
Don't put it on the label. It'll just be the last track. Yeah.
Or we just make a Car Crazy Cutie.
Or we don't.
Barbara Ann.
As far as Summer Means New Love at the end, I mean, like I guess it's a cool idea as a hidden track.
Definitely a precursor to Pet Sounds.
But it's probably going to be hella intergroove distortion, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we're not worrying about that stuff right now.
We're not printing this. We're just making it.
I know. Yeah. I'll give it a thumbs up. I like it a lot. So
yeah. We need to beef up the list so that when we cut it down, then we can get to the nitty gritty.
All right. Okay, so I believe we're at around 26 or 27 songs now. So I think now we get to the fun, the kind of difficult process of narrowing it down to 24 that we think should make the album. So
Go song by song.
what's that?
Just go song by song, and we'll just do another one if we think we should stay.
Okay, yeah. All right, so we'll run through what we got.
This is
so far.
hard.
Okay, so,
This is hard.
all right. So Surfing Safari is one. We're all good on that, right?
Yeah.
Surfing USA.
You don't want it, right?
No,
I think it's just because it was a big iconic
potential.
in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It shaped rock and roll. It has to be on there.
All right, fair enough.
All right. Lonely Sea.
I like it, but I would take it off. I personally would take it off. It's already ballad heavy as it is.
I would put a vote on Lonely Sea then. I mean, I want Lonely Sea on it, but I think we need to start counting which songs are getting the votes, so then we can.
Well,
So
I
write
vote
that down.
because I think it's a very nice song, but it's already ballad heavy as it is, and it's like, I don't know. I would take it off personally, but that's just my opinion.
It's not as strong as the ballad on Surfer Girl.
Or Surfer Girl or Today, exactly.
Yeah, or Today. Yeah.
So I vote take it off.
Okay, so Surfing Safari, assuming we drop that, so Surfing Safari, Surfing USA. I assume we're all good with Surfer Girl. Catch a Wave. I mean, I'm whatever on it, but we can keep it. Your Summer Dream. Are we good on that? I feel like I really want to keep that. I love that song.
Yeah. Pretty pretty. I would keep it.
Okay. All right, so that's 5. Okay, so we had a debate with Car Crazy Cutie and Wendy if we would drop Car Crazy Cutie for me to give Wendy a vote. So are you willing to make that sacrifice, Reilly?
I want Wendy on this more, but you'll be more pissed off if we keep Car Crazy Cutie.
I like Car Crazy
Cutie,
but
I think
Wendy is the better song here. I mean,
all right, hold on. Heads or tails? Heads, Car Crazy Cutie. Tails, Wendy.
What do we got?
Fell between the cracks of my desk. Hold on.
I think that means neither.
Heads. So what's heads?
Car Crazy Cutie.
All right, we're keeping Car Crazy Cutie.
Okay.
Wendy's gone. Get rid of Wendy, which is fine by me because I like Car Crazy.
All right.
Crazy Cutie. Okay.
I do want to mention too that Little Deuce Coupe, the title track, didn't make it. Are we like cool with that, or because we never?
That's fun.
We never.
Minute and a half.
Did I vote yes on that one? I don't remember. I honestly don't even remember.
We didn't really have a vote. We just kind of brought it up versus Catch a Wave, and you guys said Catch a Wave you prefer. So.
Yeah, I do like Catch a Wave better.
All right. Okay, so let's see. So 4, 5, 6. Okay, in my room, obviously we're all good with.
Yep.
Fun. I feel like we're all good with that. It's like one of like their most popular, defining songs. Hushabye. Are we good with Hushabye?
I like Hushabye, but I would probably. How many songs so far? What have we actually gotten rid of? Is my question.
So we've gotten rid of Wendy, and we're probably gonna get rid of Lonely Sea. So we're around 26 or 25 songs right now.
If we're gonna cut back on the ballads, I think Hushabye is probably one that we should cut back on, just for the fact that
I think we could cut it. Yeah. I think we could cut it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's what I think too.
Right.
It's also a cover.
It is a very nice cover, but it's just I feel like we got to make room for some of these other ones.
Yeah, space. Yeah.
Okay, so this next sequence, I feel like we're all good on these. So Don't Worry Baby, I assume that's a thumbs up from everybody. Warmth of the Sun, I feel like that should be a thumbs up from everybody. I Get Around. Girls on the Beach. I stick with that one. I want Girls on the Beach on there. I feel like that's a deeper cut that I would want people to hear. So I love that song.
So is Wendy.
Yeah, well, apparently Car Crazy Cutie is better than Wendy. So
right, you blame the penny. Blame this thing.
When I Grew Up to Be a Man, I assume we're good on that one.
Yeah.
Do You Want to Dance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please let me wonder.
Yeah.
She Knows Me Too Well.
Yeah.
In the back of my mind, I would vote to keep that. Girl Don't Tell Me.
Yeah.
Help Me Rhonda, California Girls, Let 'Em Run Wild. And then the last two, You're So Good to Me and Little Girl I Once Knew.
Is that 24?
Once new. Yep, that's 24.
Is there anything that you want to resequence though? Like, is too many ballads in a row, or like?
Trying to get this in. Okay, so Surfin' Safari, Surfin' USA. Those are up tempo. We go into a ballad, Surfer Girl. We go into Catch a Wave, which is a little bit more like mid tempo.
Yeah.
And we go to In My Room, Your Summer Dream.
It's 5.
Back to back. So that's side 1. We're done.
Yeah.
That's 6. That's side A. Side B opens up with QZ. Goes into Fun.
Beautiful.
Goes Don't Worry Baby. Then it goes into let's do I Get Around. Then Warmth of the Sun.
Okay.
It's a little out of order, but then it's not as
That's fine.
awesome. No, actually, we can leave Warmth of the Sun and then I Get Around.
Yeah.
Then All Summer Long, done. That's the end of side. That's the end of side B. Side C opens up with Girls on the Beach.
Yep.
Then When I Grew Up to Be a Man. Do You Want to Dance? The 3 ballads, which you really can't. I mean, if you want to rearrange it, but I think we should just leave them as is.
I think so too.
3, 4, 5, and then what is this? ITBO in the back of my mind. Okay, perfect. Then we're gonna open up with California Girls. Has to open up.
Yeah, it's a good opener. Yeah.
So we'll do California Girls. Then we'll do Help Me Rhonda. Girl Don't Tell Me.
Well, I would say split up the singles. Maybe. Do like California Girls, then maybe Girl Don't Tell Me, then Help Me Rhonda, or something like that.
California Girls. Then you want Let 'Em Run Wild.
You Let Him Run Wild, yeah, because that was like the B side. So
Let Him Run Wild, and then we'll do Help Me Rhonda, and then we'll do Girl Don't Tell Me. You're So Good to Me. Little Girl I Once Knew. Summer Means New Love. That's good.
Done.
Do we want it to end? I know the end is technically going to be like Summer Means New Love as like the bonus track, but like for the final track, do we want it to be like a bigger song? I feel like it would be. We could pick a better song for it to end with than the Little Girl I Once Knew. But
Barbara Ann.
well, that hasn't even been. We haven't even nominated that. So
Because I don't like.
I mean, like you put like Help Me Rhonda at the end instead of like where it is. Like you like end it with a hit.
You can flip them.
But
Flip
that
them
doesn't
around.
because then it's going to come after Little Girl I Once Knew, which came out after all this.
Okay, well that's fine then. Okay.
I kind of see it as a precursor to Pet Sounds, anyways. So like,
Okay,
it's a good,
all right.
like more of like a foreshadowing than like a grand finish.
Yeah, because you leave them wanting more. You leave them hungry for more. That's why I think the way it ends now is.
And that's when they get the Green Album, 66 through 69.
Yeah, and that's going to open up with. I would open up with Slim Zombie. I think it's the best thing to open up with.
Wouldn't it be nice?
Wouldn't it be actually better if Slim
correct.
Zombie came first? So.
All right, so we've nominated our 24 songs as well as a bonus track that we're going to put at the end, and we've talked a little bit and we've sequenced them the way that we feel that they should be sequenced. So, Matt, you want to share what we've come up with for our Beach Boys Yellow album?
Yes, so the Fab Four have come up with the Beach Boys Yellow Album, 1961 to 1965. Side A, Surfin' Safari, Surfin' USA, Surfer Girl, Catch a Wave, In My Room, and Your Summer Dream. Side B, Car Crazy Cutie, Fun. Don't Worry Baby, The Warmth of the Sun, I Get Around, and All Summer Long. Side C, Girls on the Beach, When I Grow Up to Be a Man, Do You Want to Dance, Please Let Me Wonder, She Knows Me Too Well, and In the Back of My Mind. And side D, California Girls, Let 'Em Run Wild, Help Me Rhonda, Girl Don't Tell Me, You're So Good to Me, The Little Girl I Once Knew, and our bonus track of Summer Means New Love, kind of being our little taster, our appetizer to whet your appetite for the upcoming Green Album.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty solid sequence. I feel like it kind of satisfies both like the more casual Beach Boys fans as well as like the more like hardcore Beach Boys fans like ourselves, because you got a good blend of some of the hits. You know, you got like Fun, Surfin' USA, all the popular hits, some of the popular ballads. But then you also have a good mix of some of the deep cuts, like Your Summer Dream and In the Back of My Mind and songs like that. So like I feel like we built a pretty solid album here. I mean, would you guys buy this album if it was available at a good price? I think I would. It was great, but I feel like I would like this one a lot because of all the deep cuts, you know?
I would buy it straight for Car Crazy Cutie.
Yes. Only if it's all mono, though. Because I think
it has to be a mono, yeah.
Mono.
Yeah. Do you think
I'm okay with stereo for like some of the songs, but none of that like fake artificial stereo.
No, we don't do any of that anymore.
Thank God, because it didn't sound very good.
Yellow vinyl.
Oh yeah, that'd be sick. That's I got my Beatles the 2023 remixed right here.
Does that sound
nice?
It sounds great. It's the triple album too, so I think I like a lot of the new mixes on it. I also have my original pressing though. This was the first album I ever listened to like on its own when I was like 7 or 6. And I have a CD too somewhere. It was actually my dad's. But yeah, absolutely. The yellow vinyl and the yellow packaging. What do you guys think the cover would be? I mean, I kind of, for mine, because I already made like my own version of this for myself. I have them walking with the surfboard. I feel like this kind of like has to be the picture.
The photo shoot with David Marks. Yeah.
Because I mean,
the surfboard.
Because if the Beatles used this, you kind of have to have the surfboard. But
yeah,
what do you think the inner gatefold picture would be? Anything in mind?
Probably that one of them like on the bike kind of thingy that they used that Steve Hoffman used for the vinyl of either that or the one the striped shirts where they're like this and they're like this, and that's probably a good one.
Or do you think they would have used like more than one picture? Like
Probably
a couple.
one picture.
Yeah,
I could kind of see like the all summer long like pattern throughout the inside of it.
I don't know if they would go that abstract with it though.
It is the Beach Boys marketing team, and the modern marketing team fucking sucks.
I think some of the pictures with them in Paris in 1964 would be pretty cool too.
I mean, the Beatles used like a picture from like 1970, and if this really was like a dual release with the Green Album, if this was a real thing, it could have been anything. Maybe it was like something from like 66 or something.
The one thing the Beatles had to their advantage though was they took literally the picture in the same exact spot because that was supposed to be the cover of Get Back. I don't think the Beach Boys ever did that, right? They took a picture in the exact same spot doing the exact same thing like 10 years later.
I feel
Summer of Love.
It doesn't count.
Summer of Love.
I feel
Video.
I feel like one of the closest things, I know there is a picture. So like, like the picture for like when they're I know Al isn't in it, but like in the picture on Summer Days and Summer Nights, like where they're on the boat, there is like kind of a similar recreation of that, like in like the mid 70s, I think, where like, it's like Brian with the beard and stuff and they're on a boat too. So I feel like for that period, we could maybe do that one as like a reference if we made the first one that, but yeah, I don't know. I like your idea. I like your guys' idea though for the cover. I think it's good. Striped shirts. I feel like.
Yeah, so
a lot of iconic photos.
Yeah. All right, so I think we can wrap it up there, right?
Yeah, it's probably one of our shorter episodes for sure.
That's fine though. I said that at the beginning. It would be kind of
it's just a lighthearted episode. I actually can't wait for the Green Album though. I feel like that's gonna be a lot more difficult.
Yes,
because there's a general consensus for the early songs on which is good and which is bad. But when we get to stuff like Smiley Smile, Wild Honey, where a lot of these albums place differently for us, we're going to have different choices for what we want.
All right. So thank you, everyone, for listening to this 11th episode of Good Timin. I hope you all enjoyed the show. I had a great time putting together this little compilation with you guys, and I'm looking forward to doing this again sometime in the future. And for the future, when we do this again, we'll probably do like 1966 from like around Pet Sounds time through like 69 through basically their run with Capitol. So we'll go up to like 2020 around that period. So that should be really interesting. Obviously, those albums have a lot of great deep cuts on them, as well as like some of their more popular songs like Do It Again. So it's going to be interesting to see what we choose when we do that episode. So as always, if those of you listening like this podcast and want to hear more, feel free to subscribe or follow wherever you're listening. We greatly appreciate the support as it motivates us to make more episodes in the future. Also, as a reminder, the podcast is available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So there's plenty of different places to listen and keep up with the show. So thank you again for listening, everyone, and we will see you all next time. Bye-bye.